What is up, everybody? Welcome once again to the Unrelated Sports Podcast. I'm Andy McConnell. With me, as always, is my co-host, Mr. Cody Allstat. Cody, how are we doing?
I'm doing really good. Just got done with my niece's 20th birthday party.
Ooh.
Yeah, had angel food cake, so I'm happy.
Cake.
I love cake. Angel food cake it's my mom makes it for my birthday or everybody's birthday every year, and it's fantastic.
Is that your favorite type of cake?
I'd have to say so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just straight chocolate on chocolate.
Shocking.
I love making good chocolate cake.
I like chocolate cake, but I will do a variety. I like a marble cake. I like cake.
I mean, in all honesty, who doesn't like cake?
That's true.
So
that is very true. Terrorists.
Yeah, how's the rest of the weekend?
Good. We took the kids up to just my son's birthday was last weekend, and we took them up to a hotel with a pool for a night and let them play with their cousins and had a day with that. Other than that, kind of counting down the days till NFL starts, and I don't do anything on Sundays.
Yeah.
We did order the Sunday ticket this week, or we split it with my in-laws. So
nice.
I'll be going to my in-laws every week, which is fine.
Yeah, that's what I do with my brothers. So that's
nice.
Good. It's good to have. I mean, it's not just for watching the Packers too, because I mean most of their games are in market, but I mean there were times like last year where I think there was once where Jacksonville played Houston, and that game wasn't going to be shown in our market. And it's like
right. That's a game you want to see.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that's good. I'm glad you kind of chill weekend. Mine was chill as well. Nothing too exciting. I did all my running last weekend, so this weekend was just lay low.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, because I mean NASCAR was back. That made me happy. I know you don't care at all, but I was happy.
No, not even a little bit.
Did you happen to catch what happened in the NASCAR race at all? Like even
all I didn't actually see anything on it. All I did was saw some Twitter feeds of people blowing up. Yeah, not happy.
No, there were some shenanigans at the end of the Cup Series race at Richmond on Sunday night. Usually on Saturday night, but on Sunday night, Austin Dillon, driver of the 3 car. I know some other guy used to drive a 3 car once upon a time. Basically needed a win to get into the Cup Series playoffs, and he won in a very interesting way. He cleaned out Joey Logano, and then right on the exit of turn 4, he sideswiped Denny Hamlin, and that's how he won the race. So he got the old 2 for 1.
Wow, we raced a little dirty, huh?
Little bit. It looked like something that I would see on some of the older NASCAR video games, like when you're playing online in a lobby against people who have no skill. It was quite interesting. Many different viewpoints on what was right and what was wrong.
I bet some unhappy people.
Yeah, I'm torn. Like the move that he did on Joey Logano, that was just a straight up. I mean, I've seen Joey do it to plenty of people to begin with, and flat out dumping somebody for the win. That's been done before. The thing with Denny, he hooked him in the right rear, and if Denny didn't have good car control, he would have went nose first into the wall, which that's usually the front one of the 2 worst impacts you can have. It's either that or the driver's side door into the wall. So we'll see what NASCAR does. There's
I bet they're kind of in a
they're in a box.
They're in a pickle.
What side they want to try to dig themselves out of, because I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer. I guess the only wrong thing would be to absolutely not do anything and to just say, "Hey, boys, have at it," because then this opens Pandora's box.
Right.
But I don't know.
Yeah, that's a precarious situation because I mean, the season's on the line for some of the guys. Like if they penalize him, he could just okay. Well, your season's done. Not done because they'll still race, right? He just
Yep.
will be racing for nothing,
Yeah, he'll just
and
be
then you got a
tried basically. Yeah.
pissed off driver out there
Yeah, with nothing to lose. Yeah. Or, yeah. So
who obviously isn't afraid to crash people.
yeah, and the sad thing is, so all of Austin Dillon's like 5 Cup Series wins have come with a little bit of an asterisk by it.
Oh, really?
His first win at the Coke 600 was basically just because of fuel mileage, which I mean, fuel mileage races happen all the time. The second career win was the Daytona 500. He won that by wrecking Eric Almirola on the last lap. Let's see, he won at Texas, and that one was just stupid because at Texas you can't pass anybody. He happened to stay out, and there was nothing deserving of that win. And then he won his previous one came at the Daytona, Daytona second race, where he was the only car not to wreck in the rain. So that's how he won. So
Right.
yeah, so I will say, just a quick little side note, he was on his way to winning like legitly, but there was a caution with 2 to go because 2 cars wrecked right in front of him. For no
this week.
apparent reason. Yeah, this week.
Okay.
Like he had actually legitimately driven to the lead, past Denny Hamlin past Logano, and then Hamlin, which would have been for the win. And then then Ricky Stenhouse like ran out of talent, and I don't know what he was doing, but wrecked 2 guys. So and then just set up chaos.
Okay.
So yeah, very interesting first weekend back for NASCAR in 2 weeks.
I guess.
We'll see what the ratings are like this weekend when they're at Michigan, if it did
I mean,
anything. Because it did
right,
lead
like,
it led SportsCenter that night.
oh, really?
Yeah, which was.
I haven't watched SportsCenter in forever because I get all my sports information from Andy McConnell
Hey, that's me.
and Twitter, but
Yeah,
mostly Andy
part
McConnell.
I'm also part Twitter, but yes.
Um,
Oh, and so I guess the Olympics were this weekend too, or finished
yeah,
up this weekend.
the United States tied for the lead in gold, and
Mm-hmm.
so I think they had 40 gold medals. They had
Yep.
like 43 silver and 41 bronze or something around there. I know they were in the 120 something.
Yeah,
My math is
and I think they would have won outright in the gold medal count. Except I want to say in like the 4x100 men's relay, they dropped the baton, or they did something which got them DQ'd. So that might have cost them just 1 extra gold medal.
Yep. There's a lot of like woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
That happens in the Olympics. Like I mean, Noah Noah Lyles barely won. Like
Yep.
there's so many of that. Um,
Well, and I know one that
my
obviously did make you happy was
no
the guy that came back hurt.
Spencer Lee. He had a he dominated his. I guess he won his match, or he was leading his match 2-0 with 2 pushouts. And then there was a flurry, and the other guy from Japan ended up on top, got 2 points from that. And in wrestling criteria, there is no in freestyle wrestling in the Olympics and in the World Cup stuff. There is no overtime. It's basically the last person to have scored, if it's tied, has the winning point.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And there was a time where Spencer Lee got what looked like it was a push out, but there was some kind of rule that kind of made it not. So he would have been up 3-2, but with time running out, he tried to do a throw and he got taken down with a few seconds left to lose 4-2. I mean, he had to try something to anyway, but
I mean, you think it would be the other
heartbreaking.
way around, or the other way around for the tiebreaker? Like, you think they would actually want to reward the guy who had been leading at the time?
I agree. I don't like a lot of the. It's part of the reason that I think part of that's why it struggles so much is people don't understand all the rules, and it's why they tried to get rid of it. And also, it's tough. A lot of these guys, like it's a tough thing where they're going from 10 weights to 8 weights to 6 weights for there's 6 weights for the Olympics. Like for World Cup stuff, there's 8. Um, in college and everything else, there's like 10.
Okay.
Um, so you're leaving out some big talent, not getting there because of that. Wrestling, it's the oldest sport and it struggles.
Why do you
Um,
think that's not universal? Like the weight classes or even just the scoring is not universal throughout.
well, because there's different styles. Like
Oh,
United States is about United States kind of hurts themselves by in college and high school. We primarily work on folk style. Well, there
okay.
is no folk style in the past college. So once these folk style wrestlers have to go into freestyle, so it's a different point scoring. There's no bottom. It's a different scoring completely. There's exposure, which I don't still understand. There's push out, which is a rule I think should be pushed into all types of wrestling. But um, people, but one thing I wanted to say was like, so people were mad at Spencer Lee after his match because he lost with grace, but he in his interviews he was saying, you don't win silver, you lose to get silver.
Hmm.
He has that winner's mentality where he came up short of his goal, his dream, and people are upset at him for voicing it. Like we want these athletes to be real, but then as soon as they are real, we judge them for it.
Yep.
It's so messed up because I loved it. I love that. You know what? He's been training this. This has been his dream his whole life, and he came this close to it. Of course, he's going to be disappointed. Like it doesn't mean that he's throwing his silver medal away and saying it's worthless. It's just it's not what his goal was. Like if you come up short of a goal, he's gonna have that what if or whatever. Like he's come up so close on so many things. He lost his so he's fought injuries for his whole life. Like I think without injuries, he's one of the greatest athletes of all time. But he's fought at injuries. He had tore ACLs. He came up one match short of going undefeated through high school in Pennsylvania, which is without a doubt the toughest state to wrestle in. Like I want to be a homer and say that Iowa is, but there's a reason that Kale went to Penn State. It's because that's where the talent is.
Hmm.
Um, and he lost in his state finals match his senior year to Austin DeSanto. I mean, he was wrestling injured, but he didn't use excuses for that. He said, "I lost." And like, I I made the decision to go out there and wrestle hurt, knowing that I wasn't going to be wrestling at my full potential, but I wanted to do it. And he lost, and he was upset about it. Go to college, he fought injuries again. I mean, he had 2 ACLs torn his junior year, had to miss the next year. Came back the final one more year, like 3 years past what he planned on wrestling in college because he was going to be 4 years and done
Hmm.
because like he was going to wrestle freshman, true sophomore, true junior, true senior. Then he got a COVID year. Then COVID happened. Like his dreams got all messed up or his goals, and then he got injured, so he had to miss out on the last Olympic run. And he's been unhealthy, so he took a year off basically and just healed as much as he could. And now then he came out and wrestled in this, dominated his way through, got to the finals and fell. Like he didn't get his goal. What do you want these athletes to do? Like, do you want them to be happy they lost? That's not a winner's mentality. That's not the Mamba or whatever you want to call it.
No, it's not a
I don't.
greatness mentality. I mean, in all honesty, I mean, if you look at the greats, yeah, they don't like second.
They don't like losing. Like
No, there's a
it,
reason second place is the first loser.
right. Like, do I is Spencer Lee still a hero of mine? Heck yeah. Like he's a hero of mine who's 10, 12 years younger than me. But the kid, watch him. Just watch him out there. He's spectacular to watch. And I just want to talk about, I kind of went on a rant there a little bit, but talk about the United States. And people are talking about this being a down year for the Olympics for the United States in wrestling. And it was. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's the first year since 1968 that the United States has not won a gold medal in men's freestyle wrestling. 57 was the only one that, which is eventually was the only one that got to the gold medal match. Zane Rutherford had a bad draw. I think he lost his first round. I don't know if he didn't medal. Kyle Dake, he was a gold medal favorite going into it. His dad died not too long ago, and it was kind of like felt like this is his time. He's been a two or three time world champ. He got bronze at the last Olympics, won the next two gold medals in the world, and then you're thinking this is him, and he fell in a barn burner of a match. I think it was like 12-20, which is insane scoring in freestyle. And it was a lot of action. Kyle Snyder, who's won a medal in the last 10 years running with World or Olympics. He won an Olympics. I think he got in 16. He won the Olympics when he was 20 years old. He won. I think he got bronze in Rio. No, what was Tokyo? It was
Yes.
Tokyo in 21.
Yes.
I think he got bronze there, and then this is the first time he got fifth. He failed a medal for the first time since he was in high school. Aaron Brooks, who beat the world number one to get to the Olympics, David Taylor, he fell moments short of winning a gold. He lost he was up 3-2 with waning seconds of the semifinals, and he kind of did something that I call Penn State wrestling. Get ahead and stall. Well, he did that, and it bit him in the ass.
So we played
Sorry,
prevent defense.
he did, and he got turned last second and lost. And that guy went on to win the gold medal match 7-1. So, like, Brooks could definitely have beaten him, and probably would have beat the guy that got the silver medal.
Okay.
I know I'm missing a couple wrestlers, but it was in a year that Russia was not wrestling there. The fact that we didn't get a single gold is sad, but I'm not going to say it's they're dying. It's a dying thing. Like, the United States has done well. They're getting better at wrestling every year. I think we're getting closer to the world, like Russia and Iran. Japan had a great tournament, but I think we're at a little bit of a disadvantage by wrestling folk style first and then going to freestyle. Where in women's wrestling, we had 2 gold medalists and a silver medalist in the 6. The silver medalist is actually going to become an Iowa Hawkeye in the next few days, Kennedy Blades. And then we had that Amit Alor and Sarah Hildebrandt, all won. Now I got to think. I know Kayla Miracle did not win a medal. I cannot think if I think Helen Morales did. I think she got a bronze medal. So we got at least 4, if not 5 medals in women's wrestling.
Okay.
Fantastic. But Japan is so good at women's wrestling. But in wrestling is a sport or women's wrestling, we only do after high school, at least college through, is all freestyle. So maybe it's something that, like, the United States really needs to work at, is if we're going to be doing world stuff in freestyle, we should be doing freestyle as soon as possible.
I mean,
I love folk style though, but
yeah, in my eyes, it makes sense,
it does.
and I barely know anything about wrestling at all.
But um, and then that there was a little bit of controversy, and I don't know how to feel about it. Sarah Hildebrandt won the gold in women's wrestling at 60. I can't tell you which weight it was, but she deserved it. Great wrestler. Love her to death. She's come up short a couple times, and it's been heartbreaking. And she won her semifinal match, and she was the other semifinalist. They were going into the gold medal match. Well, she the girl that had won that match failed to make weight the next day for her gold medal match by like 100 grams. Really close. I don't know how. It's really close weight. So instead of giving that girl just giving her the silver, she drops down to last place in that tournament. And the person that she beat ends up getting to bump up into the gold medal match.
That makes
It doesn't make any sense to me. And like Sarah had said that they had told her it was hers. She had done like the whole. She gets the gold medal. Um, she was crying. She was excited. The other girl was gonna get. It doesn't make any sense. The girl had won all of her matches legitimately. She failed to make weight. Okay, automatically loses. Sarah Hildebrandt wins the gold medal.
mm-hmm.
That makes sense to me. To drop her, like, to just, you know what, you failed to make weight, you're done. And the person that you beat gets to go for a gold medal.
Yeah, that makes zero sense at all.
And the fact that in that tournament, the weigh-ins for normal wrestling events for world title, they have like a four or a. They have to weigh in 2 hours before um before their match. This one they had to weigh in 4.5 hours early.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it gives them time to get like rehydrated and stuff like that, but like, it also gives them a shorter time after a day of having some of the best competition in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I don't quite get that.
I don't know why they have a different rule for the Olympics than they do for the rest of the world events. But anyway, I rambled a lot. I love wrestling. Go Hawks.
Gotta love the IOC. They're very
Yeah.
consistent. I mean, it's not like they're just maybe or might not have taken away a bronze medal from a U.S. gymnast potentially.
Did they take it away?
Yeah, I think they said
They
Jordan
did.
Childs has to return it. Which, what if she says no?
Yeah.
And this is also right after during that event where they took away the bronze medal already. I believe was a chick from Germany or whoever the girl was that initially had it, and then she was celebrating with the flag and stuff, and then said, "No, sorry, we messed up. The girl from the U.S. is gonna have it." And now we're like, "Oh, sorry, we're messing up again."
Yeah.
Just give them both bronze. Just
Yeah.
what's yeah. I don't know.
So dumb.
I guess sticking with the ladies though. So obviously gymnastics we've covered before. Swimming we've covered before. Women's basketball team won gold, barely.
Yep.
Women's soccer team won gold without allowing a goal.
That's insane.
And the crazy thing is, they did this with most of their players were all the young pups. I think all of them, such a majority of their stars. So they're only going to get better.
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
I don't understand how they're so good and the men's team is so bad.
I will never understand that at all. It is cool though. So one of the stars of the women's national team, her name is Trinity Rodman. If that last name sounds familiar, her dad is Dennis Rodman, like the basketball player Dennis Rodman.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. The way she acts a little bit, you can kind of tell that he is or she is his child.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to look into her.
Yeah. So that was cool. Men's basketball won gold by about, I don't know, 6 inches maybe. Because they would have went to overtime against France. Or no, I'm thinking of the women's game. All right, sorry. No, the men won gold because Steph Curry is not human. Um, the women won gold because France missed it by about 6 inches from being a 3 pointer. Um, so that was good for the U.S. The one sport we didn't win women's golf at all. We won men's golf with Scotty Scheffler, and unfortunately, none of the ladies. I mean, we had a couple
No.
in contention. Nelly Korda was in contention, and she fell off, and then Rose Zane was two off the lead going into Saturday in the fourth round, and then she fell off, and Lydia Ko did not.
No,
And
she had a
now
very good
with
tournament.
yeah, and now she owns all three medals over the last three
Yep.
Olympics, and
That's insane. That's cool.
I know, and just as a little cherry on top, she's now automatically qualified for the LPGA Hall of Fame at
That's
the age of
awesome.
27.
Insane.
She's
The
good.
fact that she would have won her first Olympic medal at like 19.
Yes,
That's insane.
yeah, she's good. She's very good, very very good. Um, so while that was all fun and games in the Olympics, especially in golf, oh, let's go to. Should we go to the PGA Tour, Cody? Very briefly.
Well, let's bring it up.
Okay, well, PGA Tour had their last tournament before their playoffs, the FedEx Cup playoffs. Um, it was Sunday was bonkers. I think they had to complete like maybe 27 holes. They had to complete a lot of holes because
Yep.
of the hurricane that went through and other stuff. Um, so then that leads us into Sunday, and on the last hole, it brings us to our pest of the week.
Uh, this week's Pest of the Week is brought to you by Decora Pest Control. They offer monthly and quarterly services, sprays for all kinds of bugs, earwigs, bees, um, box elder, and well, he just does a fantastic job. I actually have heard. I know that, like I've said this before, Decor Cabins, which is pretty high end stuff in Decor, uses him for it, and I don't think that they're going to be wasting their money when they can spend it and get good service from a great guy that's going to lose in fantasy football this year. Anyway, call Cass at 563-419-3251, and he will get rid of all your pests like mice, rats, and this week.
This week, a guy who from Minnesota, supposedly supposed to be Minnesota nice. You know that his track record doesn't really shown that, especially with his payment of like caddies and other things. Um, it's Matt Kucher. So we head to the 72nd hole.
Cooch.
Old Cooch. He's tied for 12th, or maybe 12th alone. I don't know. He's in 12th place. Not going to win the tournament at all. Daylight is basically gone. They're almost hidden in not quite pitch black, but they're hidden in darkness. And his other two playing partners, they decide, you know what, we're going to hit into the green. We're just going to finish up because we want to get that. I mean, the tournament was over. Aaron Rye had gotten his first career win. So they just wanted to more finish up, get that guy there. So his playing partners do that. Kucher, while in the rough, after his tee shot, decides, you know what, it's too dark, I'm going to stop. And so
Out of contention.
Out of contention. Yeah, nothing really. I mean, maybe just a little money to gain, but this is a guy who's made a motherload amount of money on the tour anyway. So he decides to be the only player to not finish on Sunday. So what happens? He has to. Not only does he come back, you have to make some rules officials come back. Assuming the people that work on the golf course, some other people actually working the event, they all have to come back just for him to hit two shots.
Yeah.
A shot and a putt. And what's funny is from his from the rough, he actually had a rules official come in like right off the get go and ask for relief because of a scoreboard or something. that was there. Yeah. So then, yeah, he proceeded to hit it on the green and like, or maybe short. I don't know where his second shot went. He ended up with par, and he said he mostly just wanted to say this as a lesson, quote unquote, to this Aaron guy who was leading. I think it's either Aaron or Adam, because there's this young kid who was going for his first career win, and he kind of collapsed. He really did. I think he three putted from 3 feet or four putted from 3 feet.
Been there.
Yeah. Also had a quad on a hole. It was just really rough, and I think Kucher's explanation was he wanted to say that, hey, don't be afraid if stuff's getting dark to, um, say that, hey, I'm gonna stop. I want to come. I don't think it's safe enough to play right now, or I can't play in my best conditions. And it's basically just a bunch of baloney. He was trying to do damage control, and instead he made himself look like a bigger idiot already.
Yep, he looks like a jackwagon.
Yes, he does. So, congrats, Matt Kucher. You are our pest of the week.
Idiot.
Don't be a Matt Kucher on the golf course. Just
no.
or in anything.
Just finish it out.
Yeah, especially when you're not going to win.
Like, you know what? If you're in contention for the win at that point, I understand it.
Yep.
Like, if you're... But you're literally playing for 12th place.
Yep.
Just finish your day. Especially with the guys that you were playing with. I think one of them was better. Like, had been playing better, right? One of those guys was near the top of the leaderboard. I don't think he won it, but...
No, he wasn't. Like, by the time they got to the 18th tee, it was over. It was over. Like, they couldn't win. So, like, what? Why? What are you accomplishing at this point? You just make yourself out to be a bigger villain.
I don't think he needs help with that.
Hopefully his caddy got paid.
I hope so. Because he does not like to pay his caddies.
No, he does not. That's why Minnesota Nice is a fake thing and Iowa Nice is awesome.
True that.
So speaking of Minnesota Nice, and they can't have very nice things, Cody, do you want to talk about football?
I thought you'd never ask.
Well, we kind of have some big news. Big football news that happened today. Minnesota Vikings first round quarterback J.J. McCarthy potentially could have been their starter. I don't think he should have anyway. Came out today that he has a torn meniscus.
Out indefinitely.
Yeah, it might be out for the whole year, depending on what type of surgery they have to do.
Yep.
If I'm the Vikings, regardless of what type of surgery they have to do, he doesn't play this whole year. But
no,
also the Vikings haven't been known to do smart things.
I wouldn't have. It wouldn't have been a possibility he plays this year anyway. In my opinion, like, he was a good college quarterback. I think he needs some time to develop. I think it's a good thing for quarterbacks to develop anyway, but that's another story.
Thanks, CJ Stroud. You ruined it for everybody.
Oh, shh.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. But, and again, it'd be one thing if the Vikings were, like, this close to, like, being Super Bowl contenders, but if you look at the NFC, they're not Detroit, they're not Green Bay, they're not San Francisco.
Not San Francisco.
Philly.
No.
Or they're not even Atlanta, where, I think their quarterback went. Their old quarterback went to. So it's just like, let the young kid rest and learn. Let Sam Darnold, I don't know, maybe you can get some trade value out of him. Or if he sucks, maybe you get a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
And then you can do whatever the heck you want with it. So maybe this is
you have plenty of holes. They have good wideouts. They have plenty of holes though.
They do. Oh, well, unless one of their wideouts gets in trouble again, but we'll save that for another day. And then let's see. The New York Jets are very smart. They're a very good organization.
Very good. Smart moves all the way around, all the time. Yeah. Their big acquisition of Hassan Reddick.
Yep.
Going really well.
Yep. So, for those who don't know, Hassan Reddick, unhappy with the Philadelphia Eagles, wanted a big contract, wanted to be one of the highest paid edge rushers in the league. The Eagles couldn't do that because they have money tied up elsewhere.
Yeah.
So they trade him to the Jets, thinking that, hey, the Jets are going to give me all this money. And the Jets know that he wants a new contract. So we get to before training camp, still no deal done, which, I mean, stuff like that happens all the time.
Yep.
It's like, whatever. Well, then we get to now, and the deal's still not done, Cody.
And he ain't there.
No, and he wants out. Which, I mean, I will say,
They
the Jets do hold some leverage of the fact that they can just fine him and they hold his rights. But
yes.
it's also, they gave up a draft pick for this. And yeah.
Yeah, you have to have that like almost all the I's dotted, T's crossed by the time you trade for a guy like that. You have to have the contract ready to go, talked about. They know what you're going to get. But the Jets are going to jet.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Hey, do you want to talk about the NFL preseason?
Yeah. And
And that's it. That is our preseason
yep,
update.
that's enough about it.
Yeah, that's all Cody and I care about because it's the preseason. It means nothing.
I love hearing people talk about how like preseason games and like it's like you realize this is meaningless football. Like
No.
you're playing for you got guys that are playing for spots on a roster.
Did you see what Gerard Mayo, the new Patriots head coach, said?
Mm-mm.
So I can't remember who they're having joint practices with this week, but he basically told the players, if you're getting a fight, if you're like a projected starter, you're actually going to have to play in the preseason game, which is
Nice.
normally starters don't. And then he said,
Yep.
if you're a backup, you're not going to play at all.
Oof.
And so that's at least a good way not to have a fight during
Yeah.
joint practices.
Well, and that's the thing. Like these guys, I get it. Those games are very meaningful to them trying to get on the squads. But like as a fan, you're not learning much from it. They're base offenses, base defenses.
You don't know who's playing anyway, if it's starters versus backup or whatever. Like, I want to be
Right.
excited because Jordan Love threw a big bomb to Tavian Wicks.
Yeah.
Like a 65-yard touchdown. The one cool part, I will say, is Wicks put his hand up even before he was on by the defender, like beside the defender.
Oh,
like
wait for it.
So I love that at least. But I honestly don't know if Cleveland was playing their starting defense. They
Right.
probably weren't, but so I mean it's cool to get excited about, but at the same time it's like, nah.
I'm a firm believer that you learn more. Like these joint practices are great.
Yep.
I think you're learning more from the practices than you are the game because you're watching ones versus ones. You're watching twos versus twos.
Yep.
And you're watching them go against an actual talent that's not like they're not going to be afraid to hit a player from another team where they're not going to hit their own teammates as much as hard all the time.
Some of them are still very stupid.
Some of them are.
But
yes.
But as I always say, there's only two positions I care about during preseason: kicker and punter, because those are the only things that'll continue to translate through the.
That's true.
Kicking's kicking. So,
yeah.
I mean, like Will Reichard, the Vikings rookie kicker, hit a game-winning field goal, I believe, for them to win.
Nice.
So good for him. I mean, again, I think it translates a little bit, but
yeah.
But no, other than that, it's preseason ball.
Don't come at me with like stats from it. I don't care.
Cody, 3 words: Leaf outduels Manning.
That. Yep.
Yep. That work? That work for you? So, we have one more division left in our little division by division breakdown.
Yes, we do.
It's my division. I'm very happy. It's the
I thought I heard a kid.
I thought I did too. Somebody want to be
It was either a kid or a cat. I don't know. I hope not. I hope they're all asleep right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, yeah, it's 10:30. They should be asleep.
Yeah.
But it's the old black and blue division, what Chris Berman used to call it. The NFC North.
The NFC North. The Vikings. The Bears. The Lions. And the Packers.
Yeah, that's my team. Some people are saying that this might be the best division in football. I think it's second best going into this year. I think the AFC North is by far the best.
I think the AFC North is by far the best. I agree.
And then you could either say the NFC North or probably the AFC South. I would say just top to bottom. Maybe the AFC East, depending on how the Jets are. The Patriots would be awful.
Patriots are, yeah.
But
then again, I think
it's interesting because now the Vikings are going to have Sam Darnold. Who knows? Maybe he looks like a top 5 pick actually for once in his life. Probably not, but um, you have the Bears, Caleb Williams, all their new shiny new toys. I forgot they have DeAndre Swift at running back now.
Yeah.
Um, you have the Lions coming off of their best year in ever.
Ever.
Yeah, and then you got my team where they paid Jordan Love
They
a lot of
just
money for 8
paid
games.
Jordan Love.
Got a new D coordinator. I don't know. This
Got a
one,
young core.
very young. Still have the youngest roster in the league, which is insane. They had that last year too. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's just a very
It's up
interesting
in the
division.
air.
Yeah, I mean,
It's there, there's
a lot of people are thinking that the NFC representative of the Super Bowl could come out of this division. In all honesty, like with either Detroit, with Green Bay. Some people even said Chicago, which they're the Bears, so that won't happen. But
no. I Caleb, he's going to have his ups and downs, I think, this season. I think he's going to have some really good moments, and he's going to have some really bad moments because he's playing for Chicago.
and their offensive line is not good. Don't know if you know that or not.
That
Still not good.
That's not a good thing to give a rookie.
No. Um,
I would rather your rookie has bad wide receivers but a good line.
yeah, I mean, it worked out good for Joe Burrow. His rookie. Oh no, it didn't. He got hurt his
No.
rookie year.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. That part's interesting. I mean, they do have talent on the outside and in the slot, talent at the running back position. Defense isn't bad. It did get better, a lot better as the year went on. I just don't trust. I don't think Matt Eberflus is the right guy to have as their head coach anyway. Just in this day and age. Vikings are interesting. I mean, got Justin Jefferson. I think you're gonna have Jordan Addison for like at least 12 games, depending on how everything goes with his legal battle. You want to have T.J. Hawkinson, I think, till maybe Thanksgiving, of what I've heard.
Oh, that's right.
His wicked knee injury. You got Aaron Jones in the backfield, which if Jonesy stays healthy, and I know this, if he stays healthy, I think it's a really good signing. And he's also motivated because he's trying to stick it to Green Bay, which I can understand.
I don't think he fits their system as well as he did in Green Bay, but he's still a very, very good back.
Their offensive line tackles are good. Interior debatable. Vikings secondary is not good though. I mean,
no, they'll get torched.
I mean, Harry can still play a little bit, but he's like this is like going to be his last year. Maybe this year will be his last year. Defensive line isn't bad. Linebacker, they got Ivan Pace, that undrafted rookie out of Cincinnati, I think, last year, and he balled out. I think he's kind of establishing himself as their leader at linebacker. And then I think Detroit's my biggest question mark for this division.
Yeah, how do they respond from their collapse? Like, there's nothing else you can call it. It was a giant collapse. They had the NFC title game in hand.
Yep. And as somebody whose team has choked away the NFC Championship at an NFC West team before, it's not fun.
No.
And I mean, the Packers the next year,
you're gonna see a lot. Either they come together really well, or they are not good at all.
Well, and
I don't think there's a lot of in between.
No. Well, and I think Dan Campbell's going to go one of two ways. He's either going to turn up the wick even more on his aggressiveness in terms of going for it, just to show that, hey, I did make the right call, or he's going to dial it back a bit.
And then he's not who he is.
No. And then the running backs are good. I mean, David Montgomery. They got Jahmyr Gibbs, but Gibbs is dealing with a hamstring issue right now. That's what
Nope.
Hammies are tricky. Offensive line, though, is very good. Very, very good.
Yes, they have a very good offensive line. Amon-Ra St. Brown's a great wideout. I don't know if he's as... I think he's a little overpaid, but...
Yeah. And then, I don't know, I like Jameson Williams a lot.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's in the division. But if he can also not gamble, he'll be all right. And then they got Aiden Hutchinson on defense. He's good.
He's good.
Probably going to be in the defensive player of the year conversation.
He has one of my favorite traits in football, and that is just motor.
Yep.
He is 100% go all the time.
Yep.
I love that about him.
Um, should we say though that they're obviously one of their big question marks is still their quarterback, or do you believe in Jared Goff?
I'm not a Goff fanatic.
Okay.
I think Goff is a very average quarterback.
Yep.
I think he is the definition of an average quarterback in the NFL right now. Like, I would put him as the middle ground. Like,
I don't know. Some people think he's like top 8. I don't quite see it, but because I mean, when he had pressure in his face last year in the championship game, it didn't go well. Now, granted,
he's
Josh Reynolds did drop a couple balls, but
he's good at everything. He's not great at anything.
yep, I agree 100%.
Like, I don't think he's smart, but he's not the smartest guy either. Like, he's
Yeah.
not the smartest quarterback. He's not Peyton Manning out there dissecting. Like, he was best with McVay telling him exactly what was going to happen and like where he's needed to throw.
Yep.
Talented, but not great.
Not what you expect out of a number 1 pick.
No.
Like in all honesty. Like I think if he was drafted like 32nd, like a la Teddy Bridgewater, even like Lamar, he's seen as this is a successful career. But
Yeah,
number 1
as a
pick,
number 1, you're expecting Peyton Manning. You're expecting,
yep.
Well, Tom Brady wasn't, but
Yeah.
like that type of career.
Yeah. You're expecting Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the best example of late.
Cam Newton in his prime.
Yep, before he got
That was like 2 seasons.
Yep. And then for my team, you got Josh Jacobs at running back now instead of Aaron Jones.
Nope.
That'll be interesting. As we mentioned,
A little different dynamic. Not as good out of the backfield, I don't think.
Not quite, no.
Bruiser.
Yep. And then obviously you got the dynamic with Love of what do we got? I mean,
you're gonna learn a lot about Love this year, I think. One, he got paid, so like that makes or breaks guys too. Some guys come out after making money and they're not the same ever. Teams are gonna have a full year of tape on him, so they're gonna be able to mess with him a little bit more, I guess. Yeah. He'll have to adapt. I think he will, but there's question marks around him.
Yeah, hands down. I will say the Packers do probably have one of the better receiving cores in the league. Just
especially for
5,
young.
6.
Especially how young it is.
As you said with Jared Goff, they have a lot of guys that are really, really good at a lot of things. They don't have anybody that's strictly great at one thing or another.
They don't have their Devontae Adams anymore, but they have a lot of
very good. They can beat you in multiple ways. Like it's not necessarily going to be just okay. This is the only guy that you got to worry about. It might be Christian Watson beats you one week, Romeo Dobbs beats you the next week, Jaden Reed beats you the one. Yeah, got it.
They have 5 starting caliber wide receivers.
Yes. Plus,
they don't have like 2 superstars, but they have 5 starting caliber.
I mean, in all honesty, those 5 would probably be number 2s on maybe stretch ones, but they'd be number 2s on other teams.
Yes.
But I would rather have 5 number 2s than have a 1 and then like 4 4s. If that makes sense.
Like, that's one thing I love about Miami is they have 2 number 1s.
Yep.
Then they have a few number 3 or 4s.
Yep.
I'd say Braxton Berrios. Yeah, and he's their number 3.
Yeah, but again, it averages out.
Yeah. That'll be interesting.
Defensively, got a new defensive coordinator and former Boston College head coach Jeff Hafley. Supposed to be aggressive. Plays more of a 4-3, so where your DMs have actually their hands on the ground, which I think Chris Gary and Lucas Van Ness are going to feast on that, hopefully. And it'll just be interesting to see if Jair Alexander can stay healthy and return back to his all-pro status, which I don't know, maybe he can, maybe he won't. So, I don't know, we'll see. I'm obviously optimistic, probably biased.
Yeah.
mostly biased, but I really do think if Love plays like how he did the last half of the year, there's no reason they can't contend to go to the
No.
Super Bowl. I mean, in all
Yeah,
honesty.
100%. They're definitely in that conversation, especially on a weaker NFC.
Yep.
Like top heavy,
Yep.
bottom not.
Yep.
Where AFC I think is
A bloodbath throughout.
yeah.
Minus the Beast is still at the top.
Yeah.
Um, but again, it's like what we talked about before. It's like it's flip flop from the last 20 years, where the
Yes.
AFC was very top heavy and then weak, and then the NFC was a bloodbath that just flip flop now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
So predictions. I have. Am I going last to first or first to last here?
whatever way you want.
I'm gonna go. I think. I think the Lions win it again. I think 12-win team.
That's fair.
Packers runner up in there with an 11-win season. Then I'm gonna have the Bears at right around 500.
Okay.
With the Vikings like 6 wins, maybe 6-7.
Okay.
I think obviously I think the Lions and Packers both make the playoffs, and I think the Lions make another deep run though.
Okay. Obviously, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit, just because.
Right.
But no, I think the Packers win the division, and I still think the NFC comes down between them and San Francisco. Just my personal opinion. Like maybe, hopefully, Green Bay gets a 1 seed this year, but I don't know. I think the Bears get second in the division.
Wow.
And they get the last playoff spot with 9 wins.
Wow. You have the Lions missing the playoffs.
I do. I really
Just
think that they don't. I don't think they rebound from the collapse. Whether it be
it's very possible.
Or Goff just goes back to
implodes.
Like I think the Bears beat them by a game. Like the Bears win 9, Lions win 8.
Okay.
And then the Vikes win like 5, 6, maybe 4. I don't know. Depends what Sam Darnold you really get. I mean,
yeah.
Because Kevin O'Connell is supposedly supposed to be a quarterback whisperer, which I mean we saw what he did with Josh Dobbs until Josh Dobbs learned the playbook. And then
that's sad, but it's true.
I know. And then like Nick Mullins wasn't awful. He wasn't great, but he wasn't. Well, actually, no, he probably was below average. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I think. I think the Vikes could have anywhere from 4 to 6 wins. And then, unfortunately, they're probably going to draft somebody really, really good.
Yeah.
So
they've got some talent on their team.
I know they do, and that's what scares me.
Especially in that wide receiving core. They have 2 number 1. Well, I think they have a 1 and a future number 1.
And Addison, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you there. Yeah, just their secondary is still just bad. Yeah. And then, I mean, you have the tragedy that happened with Kyrie Jackson, too. And
that sucked.
And then they've had some other injury issues, too, in the back end. But that's a discussion for another day. So, yeah, I think that is our last division breakdown.
Which means NFL season is near.
It is. And within either next week or the week after, we will give you our full-on football predictions and our football extravaganza.
God, I can't wait.
I know, I can't either. I'm so excited. College season starts in 11 days.
Yep.
I mean, minus the video game.
Week 0. Yeah.
But
which sad to report, our just Andy and I league is kind of falling to the wayside right now. We have another league we're in.
Yeah, it's taking a long pause.
Which is fine. We both have other leagues. We are in one together though. That I am the UCF Knights and he is the Indiana Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Not the Indiana Sycamores.
No, not them.
So that'll be fun. There's 7 people in that league though, so we've decided that should take precedent right now until it falls apart eventually, maybe.
Yeah. Or if we just decide we just want to just do
Play
a
more.
honest year. But
Yep.
yeah, so we'll keep you updated with Cody and I ever have to play each other. I do have my first head-to-head game tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm not doing so well in it, but my regular one, I'm starting to click a little bit. So
Good for you with Ball State.
Ball
Hashtag Matt Kucher.
State,
Gotta
you
love
got your Kent State.
Golden Flashes, 2-time national champion. Golden Flashes. So
Awesome.
Just have to get out of there. So yeah, that is our football talk for the week.
Yeah. Ooh. I actually got a little segue here into our top 5.
Ooh.
So last week, or 2 weeks, I don't know, a few weeks ago, I hit a deer with my wife's car, and we're waiting for it to we're waiting for insurance and all that stuff to take care of it. They said late this week they should finally get her car in and worked on. I've been driving it in the meantime. It's fine. It's just a little fender bender, but once that gets in, my brother is going to lend me his Ford Raptor. It's a 2011 Ford Raptor. It was just a beautiful truck. I love them, which makes me happy because he had a 2006 F250 that was about as stiff as a board. Like it was tough to ride, but that's what last time I had to borrow a vehicle from him I was driving.
That's a Ford.
So now I have a Raptor to, it's just an F-250. They're made to do that. Like they're hauling trucks. They're not built for pleasure. My niece's F-350 that she has, that thing drives like a champ. That thing is a smooth ride.
Lies, that's a Ford.
No. Andy, go outside sometime.
Chevys are awesome.
Best-selling truck in the world for 30-some years. Suck it, Trebek. All right, so that brings up, I'm going to be driving one of my, not the year, but one of my top 5 favorite vehicles of all time.
And before we get to our top 5,
yeah.
Our top 5 brought to you by Lake Tagon Lawn Care. We specialize in complete lawn maintenance and health, snow and ice control during the winter, and small engine repairs. Call the guys for any questions, concerns, or heck, if you just want your lawn mowed, at 1-641-330-1927. That is 1-641-330-1927. And when they ask how they heard about you, tell them the boys at the Unrelated Sports Podcast sent you there.
I actually called them today to get a lawnmower part, so.
Nice.
What's up?
Who'd you have to talk to?
Ray.
Hi, Ray.
He's not listening.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
not listening. You made him upset.
He said he wants like an apology of some sort. I don't know what I did wrong, but hi, friend.
Sup, Ray?
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to what is our top 5?
Top 5 favorite cars.
Okay, lead us off.
My number 1 is a 1960. Actually, I have 2 67s on here.
Wait,
60.
I
went
number
5.
Okay.
Number 5, a 1967 Shelby Cobra, a car that was called not to be driven by amateurs.
Nice.
There is no the real ones. I think there was one sold for like $4.4 million or insane amount of money, but they had no AC, no power steering, no nothing, because they were just built for speed and to be light. And they are a gorgeous car. They are a gorgeous little 2-seater.
You ever seen the movie Ford versus Ferrari at all?
I have it. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, because Carroll Shelby, guy.
Yep.
Said Shelby Cobra. Yeah, he was in that movie. Helped design the Ford. That race.
The GT.
Yeah, that'll race that Le Mans.
was called the GT40 because it was 40 inches tall.
Did not know that. Interesting.
Yep.
Okay, so unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to give you specific like car
No,
years.
don't.
I'm just going by ones that I love. Just
Yep, I get it.
So, starting number 5. This might just actually surprise you how low I have this though. I'm gonna go with the Chevy Corvette. I love the looks of any Chevy Corvettes at all.
Okay.
The only
Is
reason
there a
I say
specific? Is there a specific Corvette like design that is your favorite? Like the Stingrays or like the more modern like the C7s?
hmm,
Okay,
no,
just like okay.
yeah, because I know a buddy of mine actually had a yellow one. Or I think it was his grandpa's, but I just thought it was pretty sweet to ride it.
Yeah. My number 4 will be actually a truck I'm gonna be driving. It is a Ford Raptor. Like obviously the newer ones are my favorites right now because they got all the luxury and stuff. But an F-150 Ford Raptor, God, they're awesome looking truck. Can't wait to drive it.
Nice. My number 4. It's actually I used to have like a little, not like the old little NASCAR Matchbox cars, but it was even a little bit bigger than that.
Like a die cast of some sort.
Kind of. It was black and silver, or with like a silver dual stripe. Dodge Viper.
Oh, I love the Dodge Viper.
I know. Those
That
cars
was
just look
a.
sweet. They look sweet. Not that I would. Not that I
Didn't they have it?
drive one at all. But
I saw a guy in Cresco was selling one not too long ago.
ooh, interesting.
He does it on Facebook a lot.
Okay.
They're not cheap. I actually, there was when I was in Spirit Lake, there was like a convention of them there, where there was like 15, 20 Dodge Vipers just driving around. Insane.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, those cars always just look sweet.
yeah, they are a cool looking car. The V10, I think.
Again, couldn't tell you any of the brand names, but or like
No,
years ago.
V10 cylinder engine.
Yep. I as soon as you said that, I was just as soon as the word left my mouth, yeah, I knew what you were talking about.
But my next one is actually very similar to my last one. Is a Ford Bronco Raptor. They haven't. That just came out last year. This
Is it
year.
white?
No, I do love that the old '90s style Broncos, but
Like
the
94
new.
type?
I would like one of those.
Okay.
I would definitely take an OJ Simpson edition.
It's a
But
killer vehicle, man. Heard it's a killer
it is.
vehicle.
The new Raptor Broncos though are so sweet. I did drive a new Bronco when I was in Hawaii on my honeymoon, but the Raptor version, those are tight.
Nice. Okay, my number 3. We're gonna go back to the Chevy family. Just a Chevy Camaro. I know you hate Chevys, but
I do.
I love Chevys.
You might have noticed this, but so far, but all of mine have been, except for the Shelby Cobra isn't technically a Ford, but it's
But it is. It is what it is.
made by
Yeah.
Carroll Shelby.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I love I love the look of the Chevy Camaro. So that is my number 3.
Yeah. They're stupid. 67. My number 2 is a 67 Ford Mustang GT 500. You might recognize that car if you ever watched the movie Gone in 60 Seconds, but Eleanor in that movie.
Okay, I've seen the movie. But
Oh my god, I don't like you.
I do. I was gonna get some reaction out of you with that.
Beautiful car. Just, oh god, I want one so bad.
So my number 2, Cody, it's actually a car we saw a couple weeks ago when we were golfing. Yeah, when we were golfing in Kelmer. I think it was Kelmer. Do you remember what car we saw there? I
No.
believe it was orange. Car that actually it just looks.
Oh, the
bad
Challenger.
to the bone. Yes, the Dodge Challenger. It just looks bad to the bone. It really does.
Yeah, that's right.
I love the looks of those cars. They just sound
They are.
powerful.
They do.
They just look powerful. That's my number 2.
Terrible. And my number one is the 1970 Boss 302. I don't know why It's always been my favorite car. I think it was like a video game I played when I was really young. That was like the first car I saw it, and it was I just it was yellow with like a black racing stripe down it, and it was
Oh,
just
nice.
iconic in my eyes. It's not a car that most people put as their number one. I know that for sure. Like all other four of those probably should be above it on my list, but they're not. Like this is just one I dream of.
Okay, so normally, like when I think of dream car, what I sometimes I would put at my number one list, like if I ever won the lotto, I would always just love to own a cherry red Ferrari because it would be freaking awesome. That's not number one though. For as much as I like to badmouth Fords, that's not technically a Ford. Shelby Cobra is number one because that thing is
Yeah,
bad to the freaking bone.
they are sweet.
Yes, I would
I
love
would.
to own
I'd
one.
take. I have a friend of mine who his dad has a kit one of them, and that's just. And then actually a guy I golf with that actually would have just had his birthday the same day as my son's. He has a kit one, and they're just so awesome.
Like I think if I get like a nice blue one, I think it would look like
All blue with the white stripes.
yeah, like I think kind of like your shirt, blue like your shirt.
Yeah.
It would look freaking sweet.
God, that was our sweet car.
Yeah, again, those cars just look bad to the bone.
Yeah, I'd do anything for one of those.
So yeah, again, surprisingly, I put technically a Ford at number one, as much as I hate Fords. That one of my two favorite NASCAR drivers drives a Ford, but it is what it is.
I think you're subconsciously becoming a Ford fan.
No, see, unfortunately, my grandpa on my mom's side, if he was still here, I don't think he would like me for my hatred of Fords. Because
No?
my grandpa didn't love Fords. Absolutely love
Well,
Fords.
he's a smart man.
Yeah. So
Yeah, now you can't even bash that. Huh?
I can't. So yeah, that's our top five for this week.
It's a good top five.
It is. It is.
That was brought to you on by my wife. It was her idea for
Thank you, Courtney.
She won't listen.
Oh, okay. Well,
She doesn't want to listen to me talk.
why? Does she listen to you talk too much already?
Probably.
Okay. Well, that's understandable. I wouldn't want to listen to you talk too much anyway.
That's why you joined a podcast with me.
Exactly. That's why you joined
Yep.
the podcast with me too.
Mm-hmm.
There's just love between us.
There's nothing but it.
So yeah. Anything you want to say before we head on out?
Yeah. Get your shit together, Olympic Wrestling Committee. Let's get to 10 weights. Let's get rid of let's do something about criteria. It's stupid. And let's give that girl her silver medal. I don't think she deserved to be dropped out of the competition when she won everything while she was at weight.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Again, common sense. It needs to prevail. You know that it doesn't 95% of the time.
No, it's too bad, but
It is.
anyway, that's all I got for you. Other than obviously, fullbacks are people too.
You heard the man. He's right in this football season, right around the corner.
Woo!
Just make sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, share, the whole nine. Comment.
Tell your friends. Tell your kids. Tell your wife.
Yeah. Tell your pets.
Yeah.
Tell everybody. And thank you everybody for listening. We will catch you next week.
Can't wait.